I think Vince was the reason that probably he finished up over there. And I think he and Triple H are on pretty good terms. And I think somehow, I don't know if he put a call in or not, but I think Triple H would love to welcome him back because he did a great job.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3, back once again on the Sportskeeda Wrestling, Wrestle Binge, Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is. And we are here for another edition of Smack Talk. So, of course, we have with us the legendary manager, wrestler extraordinaire, historian, Dutch Mantell.
Writer,
author, songwriter.
Except none of my songs have ever been published or anything.
Politician.
Well, that's part-time. I wrote a song one time, I love you so effing much I could go ahead and crap on myself. But nobody ever picked that song up for some reason. I mean, it had a catchy title. I mean, love song. But anyway.
Just rolls off the tongue. But yes, we are not here this week to talk about SmackDown and Rampage directly after the show this week. So, of course, we are here to talk about the bigger news points. And the biggest news from this past week, which has kind of been spilling over into this week, is all about William Regal leaving AEW and maybe on his way back to WWE. It was on AEW Dynamite last week. MJF had his first big promo as AEW World Champion, following William Regal helping him win the title at Full Gear. And out of nowhere, MJF laid out William Regal with the brass knuckles to the back of the head. PW Insider came out with a report saying that WWE is expecting William Regal back with the company. Fightful Select, Wrestling Observer both confirmed these rumors. And then we also have a little bit of news from us here at Sportskeeda Wrestling, Dutch, where EC3 revealed that when William Regal went over to AEW, the word was, he said, I immediately regretted this decision. There's very much a maturity issue here within the management. So basically talking about Tony Khan most likely. So what do you think about the decision first of William Regal to leave AEW for WWE, and did you expect this to happen?
Well, when somebody just signs with the company, you don't expect them to go over there and have a cup of coffee and then all of a sudden leave. This is what I think happened. Wait a minute, let me make this clear. This is my opinion. So I said something the other day, and I said my opinion. Everybody just jumped all over me. But
see, this is what I love about doing shows with Dutch that not a lot of people know. I'm not saying on this channel, or maybe I am. I don't know. But you make sure you're saying it's your opinion and you're not reporting anything.
No, I'm not reporting. This is what I think happened. I think he went over there because when WWE got, released him, well, he wants to continue to have that money coming in. I don't blame him. So he went over there. And I don't know what he was expecting, but whatever it wasn't what he was expecting to get. I think he left WWE, which is a highly regimented outfit. You can say what you want to about it, but that show runs like clockwork. I mean, even to the finishes. If somebody, they don't like their finish or whatever, it's not a big, long fight, argument all day long. They take it to a side room or take it to a sidebar, and they work it out, and that's the way it's done. When he got to AEW, he saw that it run more, I think in his estimation, like just an independent show. Like the talent got to do kind of what they wanted to do and all their spots. And I have heard this, that the talent won't even listen to their match producers. They go out there and they do what they want to do. And that's why I think we see so many botches. A lot of people say, oh, well, WWE have botches too. Yeah, everybody has botches. And I keep telling people why you see more from AEW than you see from WWE. They have this thing called an editor and some editing equipment, and they take all that out before it airs. I mean, we're talking about Rampage now. Some of these botches, they even air. It goes through the night of the taping, and it goes by the producer, by the talent, by all kind of eyeballs, but yet it gets all the way through and makes it to tape. So there's no excuse for that. But what I think Regal saw there was the inmates running the asylum, and he knew that it's not long. I'm not saying it's not long for existence. I've seen a lot of companies run a long time with all kind of backstage problems, but he wasn't used to it. He didn't like it, so he was looking for a way out. Now, when Vince left, I think Vince was the reason that probably he finished up over there, and I think he and Triple H are on pretty good terms, and I think somehow, I don't know if he put a call in or not, but I think Triple H would love to welcome him back because he did a great job when he was in WWE doing that. And I think they said, yeah, come on back. I also heard that he signed a special contract that said if he wanted to leave, he could. So I think he thought all this out before he went over there, as most guys should. But the end result is William Regal is leaving AEW and returning to WWE. And I think he'll be a welcome asset over there.
Yeah, a lot of things coming out of this.
My opinion.
Of course. A lot of things coming out of this. One has to do with a lot of people questioning Tony Khan's decision with the booking of William Regal. If he is on his way out of the company, do you think it was the right idea to kind of split the whole Blackpool Combat Club with Regal turning on Moxley, and then Moxley not really getting his revenge since this is the end of William Regal, and then the decision to place him with MJF, and then immediately MJF turning on him and putting so much heat on a guy that's going out of the company has led to people, according to Wrestling Observer in AEW, questioning the decision to have William Regal help MJF win the championship. Do you agree with that and the way they wrote off William Regal, or do you think that they should have kind of lessened the spotlight on him if he's on his way out?
That tells me this was a late decision. A totally late decision, because I think if they'd had known beforehand, they would have stretched it out and kind of covered the gap between him and Moxley and the Blackpool Club, or whatever they're called. I forgot their names now.
Blackpool Combat Club.
In my opinion is off. But if they'd had more time, they would have stretched it out and fixed a couple of holes that they left. I don't know how much time they had, but apparently it wasn't much. So, but okay, let me ask you this. How can he get out of this contract? Did he have that's what I was trying to say a while ago. I didn't know how to phrase it. Was his contract written so he could just get out of it at almost 2 weeks' notice?
Well, the current word was from Fightful Select first reported that William Regal's contract was to expire in December. I don't know if that means that he signed a 9-month contract or he had an out in his contract. Dave Meltzer, Wrestling Observer, had multiple differing reports. He first said that William Regal had a 1-year contract. Then he said he had a 3-year contract. And then he said those within WWE are saying that William Regal had an out in his contract, that, in case he wanted to go back to WWE, he could. And I could imagine that being the case, because you could imagine, in March of 2022, when William Regal comes to AEW, Tony Khan was like, yeah, sure, you can have an out in your contract if Vince McMahon is out of power in WWE and Triple H is back in power, that's your friend, you could go back over there. Because in Tony Khan's mind and in the rest of the wrestling world's mind, that was a kind of an unthinkable thing that would happen. There was no way for Tony Khan to think or believe that in 3 months the whole downward spiral of Vince McMahon would occur.
Yeah, the whole situation can change. really, it can change on a dime. That's what wrestling's noted for. I mean, these things change. They could have picked up the phone and maybe not called him because that's tampering, I guess. But they could have had a friend check in on it and